Fox Sports has a ranking of the supporting casts surrounding quarterbacks in the NFL. Patriots were dead last.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's even with Stephon Diggs.
Right. So this is not this is not including the quarterback. This is just supporting cast.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Well, that makes sense for the Patriots. I mean, can you name another skill player besides like Hunter Henry at tight end outside of Stephon Diggs?
Was it Polk last year?
Jalen Polk. I think some dude named Baker was drafted there. Booty, I think, showed some signs late in the season. But yeah, it's not a great cast in New England.
I'm surprised.
But they drafted Trevion.
Right, Trevion Henderson gets added to the backfield.
But again, he's a rookie, so you don't know what impact he's going to have.
I'm surprised they have the Giants at 31. They basically say they've got Malik Neighbors, and that's it.
Right.
Got Darius Slayton.
They re-signed him. The kid from Tennessee, Jalen Hyatt, hasn't done much since
Andrew
he's been
Thomas
drafted there.
At offensive line. So this includes
where do they get to my boys?
The offensive line. Well, this is the surprising thing. You would think that the Commanders might be a little higher.
Where are they? Come on.
What's your
Cowboys.
What's your guess?
Well, now that you screwed it all up because
I've led the witness.
You've led the witness. So I'll say middle of the pack.
It's exactly where they have them at 16.
Well, because I agree with that because I don't think other than Terry and Jayden, unless I'm missing anybody, off the top of my brain, none of them are particularly special.
Noah Brown resigns.
Well,
McCaffrey in year 2.
But they got Debo.
Yeah.
Debo's a stud. They're adding him, but
now what they're
I think their elite is Jayden and Terry.
But what they're questioning, but they're not including
Jayden, right?
Yeah. But what they're questioning is Debo's health, his durability,
fair.
And they're saying Tunsil didn't have the greatest year last year.
I mean, that's all fair.
And
that's fair.
And the running back room is nothing special.
Yeah, I don't think on paper, outside again of Terry and Jayden, I know they're not including Jayden in this, but outside of those two, I don't. It's a ragtag bunch. They're maximizing their abilities.
I don't think 16 is an unfair ranking for the entire unit outside of Jayden.
No, I do think it works well because Jayden stirs the drink.
Yeah,
makes it work. And Cliff, you got to give him credit. Cliff makes it work. But yeah, I wouldn't argue on paper that we have like a top 3 talent supporting Jayden.
Yeah, they're right here. They're right here. Maybe you'd expect to see Washington a little higher after it made 2 big additions in March. Laramie Tunsil and Debo Samuel should give the Commanders a higher ceiling than last year. But I'd like to see what it looks like. Tunsil's 2024 season wasn't quite up to his lofty standard on a terrible Texans offensive line. And Samuel comes with durability issues. I'd have liked to see Washington add some help at receiver and running back early in the draft, though I did love the addition of Josh Connerly Jr. Clearly, this isn't a bad group for offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury to work with as the Commanders reached the conference championship last season. I'm just not sure if this is one of the league's better QB support systems yet.
Here's what you need. You need Jayden to elevate guys like McCaffrey and Sinnott in year 2. Noah Brown's got to stay healthy, catch 35 or 40 balls and chip in. Like, he's going to make all those guys better.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's a classic situation of the quarterback kid. Just surround them with guys that are breathing, that can run their routes. I mean, they'll scheme them open and Jayden will capitalize.
Didn't Oz have like 40-plus catches and De'Ami Brown had 30?
Yeah.
Like, I think those other guys can go into that void and produce similar numbers.
This offense will be more prolific than last year's. Anybody want to argue?
It should be.
And it was super prolific last year. Did
it finish 7th?
I don't know. In points, I thought it was much higher than 7th.
I mean, they averaged like 28 points per game last year.
Maybe 7th is correct, but it was close to 30 points a game.
Well, yeah. Are you ranking based on yards or points?
I would do it based on points. I think this team will be even more prolific than last year.
I fully expect them to score between 28 and 30 points per game.
Last year, points, they were 5th.
Right.
Yeah. Like 28.3. That number's kind of, is it around there?
Because
yards, they were 7th.
Tunsil may be coming off a year not up to his particular standard. Still way better than what we had.
Yes.
And
you'd rather have Tunsil at left tackle than Brandon Coleman.
But I don't think they're going to average more points this year. I don't think they're going to average more than 28.5. That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
That's a ton of points.
It's a lot of points.
Especially since their schedule is tougher. So I would go under on the points, and we'll see about the yards.
I just think because we added talent. And I think that Debo is just a bonus. Like, I don't think we have to have Debo. I think Debo is just kind of one of those things that kind of fell in your lap.
I'll take the over, by the way, if you want to bet it. Season-long bet, $10, over 28.5 PPGs.
But, hey, I hate to be on Cakes' side.
Hey, I win bets sometimes.
All right. I'm going to be on Cakes' side.
What is it again?
You want mine action?
Sure.
Over 28.5 PPGs.
All right, $10.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, $20 bet.
What about this?
You know my Venmo so felt it. I'm not sure I even have $20 in it right now.
Well, just get your Venmo attached to your bank account.
I take cash.
There's not much in there anymore either.
Well, yeah.
Attached to a credit card.
That one's taking quite a beating.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Last year, Jayden Daniels led the team in rushing.
891.
Yes, Brian Robinson had 799. Will Jayden Daniels lead the team in rushing again?
Ooh,
Probably.
How many did Robinson have?
799. He
Probably.
played 14 games. Remember, he missed a few.
That's a tough bet. I don't think B-Rob's going to lead the team in rushing.
Who's going to lead it? If it's not,
Then it would make sense.
I
that
guess
it would
be Jayden. Eckler.
That's the smarter bet.
Eckler played in 12. He finished with 367.
Yeah.
I lost that bet to you.
I'm going to say
So I thought
B-Rob.
Eckler was going to lead him.
I'm going to say B-Rob. He's going to get more
who
carries.
else would it be if
and
it's
he's
not
going to
B-Rob?
have an improved offensive line. He's going to be more productive. I'm going to say B-Rob.
Unless the rookie Krosky Merritt, apparently, Robinson gets injured, and then Krosky Merritt comes in and
Yeah, I mean, if Robinson gets injured, I'm going to lose it. I'll take an injury caveat bet. B-Rob, if he plays 14 or more games, he will lead the team in rushing.
Better offensive line. I mean, I felt like he really started off the season.
He started off pretty good.
Pretty strong. I mean, against the Giants, week 2, he ran for 133 yards. Against Arizona, week 4, had 101 yards.
I just watched games where I didn't see holes. Now, maybe he's blind and he didn't see, but he was just running into a brick wall. And we were all saying, oh, he sucks. I didn't see a ton of holes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somehow Jayden Daniels found holes.
Whoa.
JD5 found
different.
holes.
That's different when you're just like, all hell breaks loose and you just take off.
Let's be honest, too. He's a better runner and a way better athlete than Brian Robinson Jr.
Of course. But I think it's different. A quarterback has an advantage there. He can pick and choose when he takes off. Brian Robinson can't pick and choose. It's first and goal or first and 10. They're going to give it to him, and the whole world knows it.
Mm-hmm.
His last several games, I mean, the leading rusher the last 4 weeks of the season was a quarterback. You look at the last 4 weeks of the regular season, 21 carries, which is a lot against New Orleans for 65 yards. He averaged 3.1 yards per carry.
No holes.
Then against Philly, 10 carries for 24 yards, 2.4. Then against Atlanta, 13 for 60. So that was a decent game. Just didn't get a ton of carries. Against Dallas, kind of a weird game. Like they were resting some guys. I mean, Jayden didn't play the second half, 5 for 10. Playoffs, though, 10 for 16 against Tampa. Total dud. Detroit their offense was just on fire against Detroit, 15 for 77. Then against Philly, 11 for 36. Like, they need more from Brian Robinson.
Unless you're like Saquon or Barry Sanders or somebody like that, running backs need holes. I'm sorry. He's not special, but if there are holes, he can take advantage of it, in my opinion.
I think they got the Falcons.
What if he's missing them? What if he's going too fast to him or going too slow to him?
It's possible, but I don't think that's
I think they got the Falcons way too high. 9?
For supporting cast.
They love Drake London and Kyle Pitts.
They like Pitts.
Well, they like the running back.
They like Bijan.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They like Bijan. I get it.
And maybe they've got a great offensive line.
You know what? You sleep on Darnell Mooney. He had a pretty good year last year. He's not bad.
Yeah, but I like Debo and McLaurin better than London and Mooney.
Ooh, that might be close.
And maybe
I think that's
London's
close to a toss-up.
But throw Pitts in there.
Yeah, but Pitts,
he always disappoints.
He's been an underachiever big time.
Yeah, he's been a big talent tease since he's been in the league. Well, didn't he have over 1,000 yards as a rookie? He's kind of fallen off since.
He's fallen off. Yeah, I don't know. It's just my opinion that's too high. I don't think they're top 10.
Yeah, but they like Bijan and Algier.
They like Bijan.
Good running backs.
Yep. They like Bijan.
Both those running backs are better than what we have here.
True. I just think that top 10 is too high.
We only have one more year of beating up on B-Rob because his deal is up at the end of 2025, and there's this much chance he gets re-signed here.
What if he balls out?
Zero.
I think there's more than that.
What if he balls out?
Yeah.
Hold on, so
Zero.
Well, what's interesting about that is you're precluding the idea that he could have a good season.
My opinion on Brian Robinson is there's so many B-Rob Juniors out there to
what
find
if he rushes
and
for
pluck in the
1,100
middle
yards?
late rounds.
What if Larry Tunsil and moving around the offensive line guys And, Cliff, schemes up some things, and he rushes for 1,100 yards, plays 17 games. That's not an incredible season, but it's
my argument
palatable.
would be, I'm not going to pay Brian Robinson $4.5 or $5 million a year when I can find the next B-Rob in the draft and pay that guy $900K a year.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
$900K a year? You're finding somebody in the draft, so you're talking about it like a 7th rounder.
Like a 4th or 5th rounder. I find a B-Rob.
They just picked one.
I find a B-Rob level replacement.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's really not. I mean, those guys are everywhere.
No,
Much like kickers, everywhere.
Yeah,
They're plentiful.
Yeah, but a lot of them suck.
You're acting like B-Rob's a Pro Bowler.
No.
Well, what if I'm acting like he's a Pro Bowler?
What if he becomes a Pro Bowler?
B-Rob's going to be a Pro Bowler.
You have a better offensive line.
Cakes.
I know it's a foreign concept. I know it's a foreign concept, but players do improve and can get better.
I understand
from year to year.
I understand that concept. I'm just telling you, if you're a big B-Rob stan, this is your last year of rooting for him on the Commanders, in my opinion. He wasn't drafted by Peters. He wasn't drafted by this regime. He's going to be out of here next season.
Might be.
I think that you're more likely to be correct than incorrect, but I think you're ruling out the possibility of him balling out and then bringing him back. I don't think they necessarily thought they were going to bring Zach Ertz back.
I'm pretty much ruling that out.
He's ruling out balling out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not really in his profile to do that.
I mean, you don't really think he's going to ball out. He's probably going to put up similar numbers.
I think it could be better numbers because of improved offensive line, just improved overall.
Maybe. But, I mean, he's kind of just a grinder. He's not. I don't see him balling out and putting up 1,500 yards.
No. I said 1,100. I think that for which would be pedestrian maybe for some other guys. But I think, what do you have, 800 last year? He's hovered around 900 a couple times.
He's been 797, 733, 799.
Yes, right. So he's never even cracked 800.
Okay.
His yards per carry.
11, I don't think is a stretch.
Yards per carry, I think, pretty respectable at 4.3 last year.
Right. So you're telling me that at 4.3, how many carries do you need at 4.3 yards per carry to get to 1,100 yards?
Well, you got to stay healthy for an entire season. That's hard. That's hard to do.
I agree.
Especially for RBs.
And I'm not saying that he will. I just think that Cakes is just ruling out the idea that he could be someone they might want to bring back.
Now, look, if he had played 17 games last year, okay, it's probably close to that 1,100, but that's hard to do.
Yeah. What do you have, a nagging hamstring? And a lot of times the guys have hamstrings, they can really...
He had an ankle injury, but I
could give him 250 carries, he'd be right around 1,100 yards.
Right. I don't think that that's an implausible number.
And over 17 games, that's 14 carries a game. 14 to 15 carries a game.
I think it's...
You give him 15 carries a game at 4.3, you'll be right around 1,100.
What if he averages 4.5 with a better offensive line?
I think it's possible. I'm on your side.
Yeah.
You gotta convince that guy.
I know. Cakes is just... Cakes hates running backs. He hates kickers.
No, incorrect. Valdez, all I want is my flowers, a big bouquet of flowers at this time next year when B-Rob's not on the roster. That's all.
Well, why do you deserve the flowers? Because most of us we agree with you,
but we're just saying the likelihood.
There's a nuance. 100 yards. He's going to be a borderline.
I'm not saying he will. I'm saying he's capable.
He's going to get more carries than he's ever gotten in his career.
You think he's incapable?
Running back room has never been more crowded.
You think he's incapable?
I think he's just okay. I don't think he's incapable. Like, if you want 4 yards and not a lot of burst, B-Rob's your guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was incapable of calling us on the regular last year.
Well, it's because he fumbled twice in the Philly game.
That's what he's definitely incapable of.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, we're going to fill you in on what went down at the Purple Heart Open, including a brewing feud.
Oh.